Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Roggio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the West Coast Funny Car Factory studios, channeling the late, great Don Pardo. Maybe he rest in peace. Did I say maybe? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, your hosts are Dar Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
Everybody, welcome back. We're here with the Nitro Report, brought to you by Good Vibrations down in Whittier, California, and Aeromotive Fuel Systems. And Donnie, he's here too.
Hey, you know what? No Good Vibrations shirt. It's still in the cleaners.
Yeah, he says that.
McLeod Clutches this week. One of our favorite people, Paul Lee and crew down there. Some of the best clutches in the business. But I did bring my new Good Vibrations catalog, which you can get from dragparts.com. And in the latter part of the show, I'm going to have Chip Foose and Cowboy Bob talking about their Phoenix fuel converter. And we also have an interview with one of the legendary Southern California track announcers, Mr. Bruce Flanders. But now, we're going to talk about Nitro, huh?
Yeah, we got a few people lined up for some Nitro talk tonight. We got Mark Sanders, who just won the World Series of Drag Racing at Cordova.
Before we do Mark Sanders, though, should we do a disclaimer? Because he likes to talk, and it's a family show, so earmuffs for the kids. Okay, just a little disclaimer for
and
Mark Sanders.
And if we run an extra half hour tonight, I hope Lucky will be okay with that. 'Cause it could easily happen. Mark, are you there?
Well, I'm there, loud and clear, baby. I hear you on the West Coast tonight.
How are you, buddy? You back home already?
Yeah, we're back home, man. We had to spit and get her and get out of Cordova before they ran us out of there. You know, when we whoop on them like that, they didn't like that.
Well, you know, anytime the West Coast comes and beats up on the Midwest, those guys have got to be hurting a little bit.
Yeah, that weather will hurt a guy back there when you're from over here. It's 85 here, but no humid. It rained 4 or 5 inches each day there. Ooh. Them guys did a heck of a job track prepping, and they got it away. But, boy, 155 grains of water in the air. Unbelievable.
Well, you didn't have to take a shower, huh, Sanders? Hey, first off, congratulations, man. It's been a while since you've been in the winner circle, and I know your son's been doing one heck of a job there, Jake, trying to get that car back into shape and back in the winner circle. So hats off to you and your family.
Thanks very much. We'll appreciate it. It goes a long ways there, guys.
Hey, Mark, is running the IHRA series, has that done anything to get more consistency? Has it helped running the IHRA series?
Well, what happens is you get more opportunities to run, right? That was like our 10th or 11th race, right? So it's like anything. The more you do it, the more you sit in there, the better you feel, the better you get the rhythm going. You know, we busted an engine apart, put it all back together, 47 minutes from the time the car came into the pits, right? So we got our mojo going, and then you get more experience on more practice to try different things, right? We're always in the triangle and air deal, and we made 5 runs down the racetrack, and everybody will say it, but I don't care who says what. We used the same components, the same parts, the same everything, same rings, same ring. We didn't hurt a part. First time in the history of my Nitro experience, we didn't hurt a part, and we won the thing. So that was a good feat as well.
Yeah. So, what are you going to do next year? You going to run IHRA again next year?
Every one of them. We talked about it after that win. It's a Friday and Saturday night deal. They packed the place. They let me have the microphone. Remember looking in Cordova a month ago when you guys were kicking back on the couch having a stogie? I was up in the tower, fire suited up, yelling at 50,000 people live and hooting and hollering live back in California to you guys.
Well,
why would I want to go anywhere else, man? I mean, that's Mr. Explosive Racing at the best right there.
Well, hey, Sanders, I remember I had John Force in the tower at Bakersfield and had him ranting and rolling, and you came up there and you silenced John Force and talked over him, and he just sit there with his mouth open. He couldn't believe, who's this guy?
That's in the Museum of Drag Racing now.
Well, yeah, remember he tried to throw an arm lock and get that microphone back from me as you guys shut the door, and I was down the old steps at Bakersfield, man. Yeah, that Force to the North here on the nostalgia circuit. And you know what's neat about that is how the NHRA Big Show stuff is kind of, you hear so much drama or bad stuff, but everybody came up to me, I mean not everybody, but thousands of people after that win. We had a meet and greet out on the track, how I sound like John Force, don't shut up. So, I got this nickname, Force to the North of the nostalgia circuit. Everybody says it's a lot better, a lot funner. So, Tony was there and Wilkerson were there running their cars. They put them all in the box, and they were moving on out of there when we were doing all the meet and greet with all the fans.
Hey,
so
what happened with
I love the fan participation in that sport?
What happened on Tony's run where he bounced it off the wall? Do you know what went down?
Oh, yeah. See, those guys do it every day, 7 days a week there. But you know what? You got to at least put the steering wheel on the spline before you can get in the behind a Nitro funny car, right? So they thought they could probably just run that little show car down the track with the steering wheel on about 2 or 3 of those splines. They forgot to push it all the way down there, and then of course you got to shift these things there. So he left the thing in high gear, and he wasn't going very fast. If he had stepped over in that Mr. Explosive Mustang and did that boy would have had a neck lash.
Hey, Sanders, we've seen these big show guys, Ron Capps, a lot of other guys come, and they haven't had the success they're looking for at Bakersfield. Ron Capps said he's, for years, him and Worsham been wanting to get that March meet or Hot Rod Reunion trophy, and they've got a spot for it there with all their other trophies, but it's hard to do. But it's fun to compete with those guys, but you and I know it's not an easy deal. Come on in, the weather's fine, right?
Yep. Yep, nope, that's for darn sure. Well, remember when we took Caps out at the March meet, 2 years ago? We had a blast doing that when we went up the ladder and broke that input shaft in the transmission. But what a race that was as well.
Well, I remember when your car shook and you hit the guardrail and you were knocked out. And after the run and after coming back in the hospital, you don't stutter no more. It's amazing.
I don't know. You got that right, huh?
Yeah.
Don't stutter anymore.
Yeah.
That was a brutal beat up there for sure, but I'm glad I don't remember that 7 minutes of my life there. And that was an old Chevy Nova. We built this new Ford. This baby's tough here. Ford tough, you know what I mean? This baby's going to go
I know last year.
And we're going to get some more of those iron guys and plaques and trophies. And you bet the crew, all my crew, Keith and Robbie and Jake and Jacqueline and Nick Dawson, the neighbor here, just a little family we got participating on our crew, and we do so well. So I got my hats off to my little volunteer crew that we have here.
Hey, Mark, I know that last year Jake was talking about building a second car so you could have one on the road and then one to run, some match races or run on the West Coast. Is there any you have any reason to do that, or is it going to work running you run the March meet, then run IHRA, and then come back for the reunion?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about doing. We have a second car, a second engine and everything. We put it all together. Jake did this winter. But the biggest thing of the deal, a second car is the easiest thing, right? Yeah, it's a few bucks for a chassis and an engine with all of our stuff. But it's the tooling, all the tooling. When we run, we're going to run. We just don't go down the track. This thing is going to go on kill every round. So it's all the parts, the fuel pumps, the mags, the coils, the blowers, the pistons, the rods, and all the tooling. So with my truck and trailer on the East Coast, to have another truck and trailer is the big thing on the West Coast. So, it's everybody's dream to have two of everything and only one wife, so we'll do it. We'll come back west, and we're looking really forward. It looks like that IHRA is going to have one heck of a season for us next year. And, of course, all this is going to be live on TV, on MAV TV, coming up here in November. So the last race is in October, the weekend before the Hot Rod reunion. So I'm sure we'll get all the press release will come out, and everything will be, we'll know where we're going and what we're doing coming up.
Hey, I like your kid, man. Hey, Dad, let's build a second car to be really, handy to have. Well, I know that he's hopped in that car and made a couple laps, and he's also got his A fuel license. So I think Jake's got a little hidden agenda there building a second car. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. He definitely does there. He goes, hey, Dad, can I drive that thing? I said, well, buddy, you're about 225,000 short of that seat there, So
well, all he's got to do is make it shake, knock you out again to where you're stuttering again and blumbering around the pit area looking for your trailer, and he can hop in the seat. I know the drill. He ain't no dummy.
He did that there at Cordova every once in a while. You know what's wild is right before they shut the body and beat on the hood and do the little party dance, he's like, Dad, I don't know what's going to happen on this run. You better just hang on. He's got a grin from ear to ear as I'm trying to get all focused in that thing, not knowing myself what's going to happen, because anytime you open that blue barrel, it's unexpected dynamite, right? So,
well, I told you, if you don't want any trouble with that car, don't pull the coil wires off.
Right, but in our pit, that ain't going to happen. That coil wire is the first thing to get yanked. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, hey, the kid's been on the road and staying with the car, and it's paying dividends for you because it's seen the car come around, the performance, parts, attrition's going away. You're happy. You're back into a rhythm. You guys haven't had this rhythm in a while, so it's fun to see it. And, it's fun that you're running good and going rounds. That means we keep you out of the tower.
Yeah, yeah. Not for long, Daddy. Not for long. Yep.
Hey, Mark. Now, IHRA. I've heard a couple of rumors that they're going to 15 races next year. Have you heard any more about a possible schedule change?
Well, I know there's about 14, right? They're trying. I know the Spokane. You guys seen that, right? It was on the internet the other night. There, the Spokane track now is over on the IHRA side. So I think what they're talking about doing is doing Grand Bend, Ontario, which is up above New York. What a great track that was, or is. And then Edmonton, and then down into Spokane, going to be our little western swing. They are definitely looking for another track on the West Coast, besides going down to Tucson, right?
Well, there's one in the middle of California called Sacramento you might make a pitch for.
Well, we did. That was brought up there. That was brought up as well. So it would be great to get on those guys. There's a race, even a possibility in the Bahamas, a year from right now, going to the Bahamas, barging all the cars over there, a brand new track being built. There's a lot of talk, a lot of enthusiasm there in the IHRA side for sure.
Mark, how's the crowd been at all the events?
Well, most of them have been good. We've been struggling with a little weather. Pittsburgh was down, not a very good track. They're not going back to Pittsburgh. Rockingham, North Carolina, a tough one. They run those pro outlaw, pro street cars. They let everybody in for free. So that got hurt there big time. That's not on the IHRA list. But, Cordova, the World Series deal this one was, the one a month ago, they've been full. Some of them have been sold out. San Antonio, Texas. I don't know how many people that thing holds, but it was sold out as well. And it's like anything. You got to look at Boise, the Night Fire. How many years? Look at Bakersfield. It takes years to go back every year to build and build and build and build, and then people will come back, right? It's a routine. So they keep this up. I've been told all through 2017. Possibly this will be rolling with the TV as well, so they get their venues established, they get these events going, we get 8 to 20 Nitro Funny Cars, why wouldn't you want to be there, right?
Well, too, if you can, next time you talk to Jason Rittenberry or Scott Gardner, tell them we need a national IHRA Open Funny Car Championship at Tucson.
In Tucson, yeah.
It's got to happen next year.
That would be a good one down there right after the Bakersfield race.
No points, no points, just money.
Just money. pack them up and go. That'll bring them in, right? 'Cause look at how many people are down there, right?
Yeah, it's a good track. Good. They have a good.
And we're racing, yeah.
The thing I was surprised about at Tucson too is that a lot of people come in there and watch all the bracket racing. They don't just leave the stands when the nitro cars are done. They're there to be entertained, and they've got a really good fan base there. I think it's a great place, and now Alan Miller is in there as the general manager. So I think there's a lot of good things happening at Tucson.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. Build on it, right? Get an established race, build on it year after year after year, and the people will come, won't they?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, we got one of your buddies on the phone, and you may know a guy by the name of Devery Howard. He's a rookie guy. He's still got a yellow stripe on the back of Twig Ziegler's funny car, but that guy just won Mission.
Well, Donnie and Dar, Mr. Explosive can only be at one track on the weekend, so Devery took care of the west over here. We took care of the east over there, and I wish we could have ran in Mission. It's just a couple hours north of here, but what do you do? IHRA winner, NHRA winner. Hey, you guys got them all, man. And then I hear Hale's coming on.
Hale's coming on, too.
That old boy there, he's got to get his backup license before he can go forward. I'll have to tell you about that one some other day.
Oh, we'd like to hear that one.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
We want all the juice. We want all the juice.
Well, we'll see you at the World Finals, at the California Hot Rod Reunion, where unfortunately we only get 2 qualifiers because of political BS. But we will see you at the California Hot Rod Reunion.
All right, you guys take care. Thanks for having us, and keep the nitro barrel on the pipe. Huh? Hey, we're going to do it up here in the north.
Make sure you bring a watermelon. All right.
Oh yeah, watermelon. We'll saturate that one up like we always do, and then
that's a hell of a party.
Right. Mr. Explosive right out of downtown Maple Valley, buddy. Let me tell you.
All right, Mark. Hey, thanks for being on the show.
A lot, man.
Congratulations. It's nice to see you and your family back in the winner's circle. You got a great team there and a great family. Mark, once again, thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys for having us. Take care.
All right, Mark Sanders. Always a good interview, huh, Darn?
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah, he's fun. The John Force and nostalgia racing, and always exciting. Whether he's running good or bad, he's always in a good mood, and he carries the program and entertains the fans. So it's fun to have him.
Well, now we've got somebody else on the line. And it's Devery Howard, who just won the NHRA Heritage Series at Mission. And he's a guy who, I guess it's time to take the rookie stripe off of his funny car, because once you win one, I think it's, you're among the pros. How are you doing, Devery?
I'm doing good, Dar. And you?
Just great. Just great. We're talking nitro. What's not to like?
Yeah, there you go. It's... nitro gets your feel good going.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So you went. I would say you probably went into Mission as not one of the favorites. I mean, it was a light field with 4 cars, but you're up against Crable, and that's got to be slightly intimidating, because what have you got, 25 runs under your belt?
No, actually, I ended up with 46 runs under my belt.
Where have you been making these runs?
Well, I've driven Jason Rupert's car here last year and stuff like that, and then licensed in it the year before, and then Twig and I, we've actually been running 7 races this year, and we've been emptying drums of nitro throughout the country.
Well, Devery, a lot of people don't know that you crewed on the Basin Rupert car and hung around those guys all your life, and then got a shot at driving it last summer, Saturday Night Nitro. And, guy, you did a fantastic job hopping in that thing. But I think it helps when you've been a crew guy all your life like you were. You understand the car, you know the mechanics of it, and you were like a natural. But to come out here, you just didn't win a race. You dominated and ran 560s. That's quite a feat, my friend.
Yes, I agree with you, Donnie. It really does help to understand the mechanics, and then we sit around at bench race a lot at night and stuff like that, so you get an understanding of it, and good people around you certainly helps. But yes, coming up to Mission probably wasn't one of the favorites. Again, Chris Crable drives a very good car for Bucky, and then there's Tim Namath, and Sitco's actually been running real good and consistent here lately. We unloaded the car, and the air come around a little bit better when we were sitting in the staging lanes, and Twig had told me he's got a tune-up in it, but, drive it and stuff like that. The plan was to click it a little bit early, about half track, I said to myself, I better speed my mind up so I don't miss my shift point. And I really didn't think that it was going to run that quick, but wow.
Yeah, well, wow is the word of the day. But, hey, that's a great track. It's got great air. Devery, when can we see this car? When's your next event you get to race at?
Well, Twig's been pretty busy this year with Tim Boychuk, and he's been running the IHRA circuit with that. We picked a few selected races this year that wasn't going to interfere with that. So actually, Mission was the plan to be the final race of the year, but, you know, we've got a little bit of conversation back on the table again, possibly the Hot Rod Reunion.
Yeah, when you win an event, that changes everything, my friend.
Yes, it does.
And to run 560s. You better be at the Hot Rod Reunion.
But, yeah, that was definitely a sweet selected pass. There's, you know, these cars can run consistent 70s and 80s, but to dip down into the 60s and stuff. And actually, at the end of that pass, it broke a rocker arm stand as well. And, you know, so it may have had just a little bit more in it. And number 6 wasn't really pulling its full load. So we'll just have some conversation, meaning Twig and I will have some conversation and see what, you know, comes of this.
Well, cool. Well, okay, congratulations, buddy. It's really great to see it, and you know, particularly after you know, some of the problems a lot of cars had up at Boise. You know, it's you know, you had your share of cones, and you know, it's good to see you pull one off like that. And congratulations, that's a great event to win, and I hope we do see you at the California Hot Rod Reunion.
Yeah, Boise was a tough track to navigate down and stuff like that. It's got kind of a narrow groove, but to get onto the new surface up at Mission, about the only thing I can say is there's nothing wrong with that track now.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's a great track. Hey, Devery, if you don't run it, are you still going to be a crew member for Bays and Rupert? Or, you know, now that you've won an event, you're not going to, you know, look back? You going to be one of those guys?
You know, I'll go in and help anybody. I'm just, you know, love to go racing and stuff like that. And Jason, I think, has got a full crew, and, you know, he's been working with them throughout the season. I think everybody's kind of got their gig down. But if he was to need some help, I would give him a hand. Okay, well, Dar and I are looking for help at the Hot Rod Reunion to run the margarita machine. I'm just saying, you know, if you got nothing going on, crew chief of the blender. I think I could drive that. Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot for calling in, Devery. Really appreciate it. And congratulations again, buddy.
Hey, great guy, great win, Dar, huh? And, and good performance. And
man.
You know, Chris Crable, he's no pushover. He's one of the best in the business.
Well, when you look at Twig's car, you know, it's one of those really old style cars. You know,
satellite
short overhang
body.
in front,
and
sitting low. Body. You know, and Twig is you know, has certainly run down some of the more fabled tracks in Canada and in the United States. And boy, there's nobody better to read a track than an old match racer. You know?
Yeah, there you go. Well, I think it's about time we take a commercial break, and we'll come back. I think we're going to have John Hale calling in. We can talk about our Aeromotive fuel pump and, you know, which you can get through Good Vibrations, dragparts.com. Get the catalog. Brand new. I got mine. You can get yours too. Dragparts.com.
Speed Seed Live. We'll be right back.
Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or dragster down the quarter mile, or cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or just cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has all the supercharger and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. Good Vibrations is your injection connection, the largest dealer in the world for Enderley fuel injection, and now a stocking distributor for Aeromotive fuel systems with a warehouse full of go-fast race parts, an easy-to-navigate online catalog, and they ship worldwide daily. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready at goodvibesracing.com.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's All-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all, and every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all-American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
Hi, I'm Robert Overholser, driver of the California Hustler, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFote.com.
What? More? Apparently so. We're just getting started here at Speed Scene Live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bruce Barker. There's Dar Hawthorne.
Howdy.
And Johnny Couch is in the studio, and we're talking, well, it's Saturday Night Nitro just begins to scratch the surface. And we try not to scratch the surface. There's a lot of expensive cars out there.
And they're all down in the parking lot, and we've already had a hassle about that tonight.
Wow, that lady, man.
Tough crowd here at Speed Scene Live, folks. But hey, Dar, I love this pump. We got to get it on a car. Do you know anybody out there that's going to put one on? We got to see some results from this Aeromotive pump.
I do know one guy who's been tested it, and that is John Hale, who runs IHRA and NHRA Heritage and some of that former DRO series.
I've heard of him.
And he's been running it, so I think he's got some things to say about it, and he's on our telephone line.
He is?
Yep.
John Hale.
Hey, Donnie. Hey, Dar. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Well, you know, coming on after Mark there, I didn't know if it was going to carry on like the Little League World Series.
Yeah. Spilled right into the next show, didn't it? It always does with Sanders, but we cut him off. We took control of the show. We cut him off, so that's a good thing. I think he's in shock because he won. He hadn't been in the winner's circle in a long time, so he's still in shock, folks. But we congratulate him. And hey, John, we got the new Aeromotive pump here that we get from Good Vibrations, and we understand maybe you're doing a little testing with this pump, you and Guy Tipton.
We've done a lot of bench testing with the pump. We have not had it on the car yet on a run. We're almost to that point. What we're doing is working with Aeromotive with Vic Wood and Bub up there, and what we're doing is we're working the bugs out of this pump. We got one of the first pumps that they produced, and we took a look at it, and we said, okay, let's clock the fuel shutoff the other way. So we turned the spool around and tried to get it to work with our configuration, and noticed that the detents were a little off. They were pushing the spool a little back in the shutoff and misaligning the hole a little bit to where the fuel was actually restricted a little going through the shutoff. And this caused them to totally rethink and redesign that shutoff, which is the feedback that they really wanted from us.
Well, I know that this is their first go-around with a nitro fuel pump. They're very successful with the Pro Mods and all the other stuff, even their aftermarket stuff that you bolt into your street cars and such. So it's a beautiful pump. They just needed somebody to work with, and what a team, you know. You guys are very successful, and, of course, Guy Tipton over there, he's no slouch. So we're anxious to see this on your car.
Well, we are, too. We were really chomping at the bit to get our hands on this pump, and as soon as we did, you know, we really went over it with a fine-tooth comb. We want it to be the best pump there is out there, and to begin with, we had to compare it to the pump that we had on the car. So we involved our fuel system guy, Dale Emery, the former crew chief on the famed Blue Max, who is a fuel system specialist right now, does a lot of the top fuel nostalgia cars and a lot of the nostalgia funny cars. So no better person to look at this pump and look at the numbers. And what we were looking at was not the big number and the big RPM pressures, but we wanted the pump to produce good pressure and volume at lower RPMs. So we've gone through probably 4 or 5 different scenarios with them until we've gotten the clearances right in this pump to where we're just about satisfied to put this on the car and have a better pump than our massaged Waterman pump that we have on the car now. And you know how it is with any hot rod part you get for your car. You don't just take it out of the box and put it on your car. It always takes a little bit of massage. So we're trying to get the Aeromotive pump to when you take it out of the box, it's already a better pump than a massaged Waterman, and that's our goal, and we're just about there.
Well, I was talking with Vic Wood before the show tonight over at Aeromotive, and one of the things he said was that if there is no winner at the California Hot Rod Reunion using an Aeromotive pump, the $2,500 contingency will roll over to the March meet. And so, you know, because of all the development that you guys have been going through to make this the right pump for nitro, and also as a pairing with it, the companion pump for Nostalgia Top Fuel at what is that, 20.0 gallons? That there's it's going to be ready to hit the track and really be a great performer. So that it takes the R&D and you're one of the best guys to be doing that, and really appreciate it.
We're honored to do it with them, and their approach to any of their product development is to get it out and get it in the hands of the people that can give them the feedback necessary for them to make the changes, correct the little squawks on the pump, and make it the best product out there. Their goal is for someone to buy that pump and have it fix their problems. That's what makes them happy.
Boy, I'd like to buy one, have it fix my problems. Otherwise, I'm getting a divorce. You know what I'm saying?
Donnie, it's going to take more than a fuel pump.
Fix my problems? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, well, speaking of that, with that comment, let's go into the comment, Mark Sanders, something about you and backing the car up. We didn't get the whole story, so maybe we can get it right from the horse's mouth.
You were driving a dragster.
I went over and crossed over to the
dark side.
And I'll just run you through it real quick. I was at the World Series just to visit some family and friends, support my fellow racers, and got asked to hop in Dale Scher's on Orange Crate Top Fueler. And he explained to me how he runs his clutch. It's got a lot of air gap, and you have to over-center the pedal to get it to move. And so, long story short, I did my burnout, and at the top of my burnout there, I stopped and put it in reverse, went to back up, car didn't move, shoved the pedal in a little bit, it didn't move, gave her a little throttle, the throttle came up, shoved it in again. The car takes off in reverse really quicker than I'm used to backing up. About that time, the wheels flop over, and I grab the brake, and I back into the wall.
Oh, okay. So I expect no more teasing back my way, because now we got something on you, and hopefully somebody out there in our audience has video of that. Because I'll wear that video out.
And it's what happened. I stuck my neck out, and that was what happened. And fortunately for the car and the team, all it did was damage the puke tank on the back of the cage.
You got away light then.
Yeah, and luckily we had Rue Man, Keith Bergen, one of the best fabricators in the Midwest up there. He's there. He says, well, just fix this one, mate. And so he and Leon went to pounding on this deal and went and welded on it over at Tony Pedregon's, patched it up, taped it up, put it back on there. And I said, well, I'm willing to have another go at it. Well, This time I was really concentrating on the clutch pedal and trying to back up and keep the car going and not, load the motor too much, and wound up backing up without hitting anything and staging the car and made about a half-track pass. And got to say, it's a different animal, and I'm happy I accepted the challenge.
Well, you've been driving a lot of stuff. You've been driving in the big show and in Pluger's car. And do you have a preference for any one of them, or are you going to move on to fuel altereds and jet cars and leave the funny car ranks?
I have a fuel altered, and I got to say, driving them all, that big show car, there's just nothing like it. When that thing starts pulling about 100 feet out, there is just nothing like that feeling. And it pulls all the way to the finish line. It's just an amazing ride, and fortunate to have the opportunity to do that.
Well, cool. It's really great to see you, taking the opportunity to run so many different kinds of cars. And what are your plans next year for IHRA? You going to run some of them, all of them? What do you think you're going to do?
I really was a little surprised at the cost of travel from my home base, which is Dallas, Texas, to the East Coast, at the difference in airfare and to the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast. So I'm going to have to really rethink traveling to some of the East Coast races like Florida and Pennsylvania and that sort of thing.
You've got a really great team, but when all of a sudden you're considered to be, along with the pros, and you got to travel everybody and hotels and everything that it takes to support that kind of operation, it changes your perspective a lot.
It does, and I got to say this, if you're winning races, you kind of overlook things like that. We struggled this year. My brother Jason Rupert just dominated that series, and my hat's off to him. He's sewn up that championship and just did an outstanding job. Maybe if I was had the success he did, maybe I'd look at it differently, but I didn't. So it's caused me to look at the bottom line and consider that next year for my schedule.
And we'll see you at the California Hot Rod Reunion?
I wouldn't miss it for the world, man.
Good.
Love that place. We've had success there. A lot of friends there too.
Well, we will see you there in a couple of weeks, and I really appreciate you calling in, John. And it's really, and also particularly on the Aeromotive pump. It's I think it's really the kind of development that our sport needs. A lot of the technology that's being used is still what was used in the 70s and into the 80s. And there's so much. There's better materials. There's better machining. There's all kinds of variables now in that can be covered in today's fuel systems. And it's really great to see Aeromotive going after that.
It is. Steve Matuzak's got a great company. He's got a lot of great people working for him. Vic Wood, Bub Miller, just a great team. They put their hearts into their products, and they have a lot of patience developing it. And I'm nothing but impressed with all their products.
And you can get all those products at Good Vibrations Motorsports in Whittier, California.
Yay! Whittier, California, home of me.
And me.
We'll get John Hale out to Whittier one of these days, Dar. We've had him close a couple times. So, John, hey, we appreciate you being on the show. You've had an up and down year. You've driven a lot of different cars, airplanes. We just want you to stay out of that boat you've been looking at and go ocean racing. We don't want none of that. We want to keep you on the asphalt, and wish your team the best the rest of the year, and we're looking forward to see you at the Hot Rod Reunion.
Thanks, man. I'm saving the boat for retirement, and say hello to Lucky for me, man. I didn't see him there.
No, he's not allowed in when we're here.
Yeah, he's on the road, headed back east to catch about 3 or 4 weeks of on-the-road racing, and So we won't see him back in the studio for about 4 weeks.
Make sure you
All
say
right,
hi
I
to
didn't
Karen
know
for
if
us.
he was doing the ice bucket challenge down in the parking lot or what.
Well, actually, we're going to change the Ice Bucket Challenge and make it to benefit the Drag Racing Association of Women rather than the ALS. ALS has got plenty of bucks now. Let's go after supporting the one organization that supports drag racing, which is the Drag Racing
close
Association.
to the heart.
John, we want to challenge you. Dar and I have our new deal, the Vodka Bucket Challenge, where you take a bucket of vodka, any brand, with ice, chug it down is our challenge. Otherwise,
That's
you got to give
alcohol abuse.
Yeah, well, you got to give $100 to draw. Either way.
All right, we'll talk more about that.
We'll work
challenge.
that out in October at the reunion.
Hey, man, always great seeing you
Okay.
guys, man.
Thanks very much, buddy.
Thank
we'll
you.
Talk to you.
All right.
See ya.
Wow, always a great guest and
Yeah.
a good champion and, great guy. Too bad he doesn't come out on the West Coast that much, but maybe we'll change that, Hey, speaking of West Coast, Dar, I got one of the best track announcers, Bruce Flanders.
And if you're from the West Coast, and you may not know his name, but you've heard him as
You'll
the voice
know his
of
voice when you hear
the
it.
Long Beach Grand Prix, almost all the races, NASCAR and IndyCar at California Speedway, and Bruce Flanders is, he's the guy.
Well, I don't know. We got our own Bruce here in the studio, but hey, Bruce, can you roll Bruce? Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live with Bruce Flanders. Bruce, ugly Hawaiian shirt night. This is all about you. How did this start?
I don't know. I think it started back at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach a lot of years ago when everybody came there expecting a party, and we came up with one. And then the management here said, well, that's a great idea. So we're doing it again. You didn't? Is that Hawaiian?
Well, look at Bruce. This is for you.
The only island that's from is Scotland, man.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't get the memo, but Long Beach Grand Prix, how many years? 30.
I don't know. I lost count. 37, 37. 1978. Do your own math.
Okay. But the iconic voice of Southern California motorsports and speedway racing. Bruce, it's an honor to have you on Speed Scene Live. And we just wanted to get to the bottom of this whole ugly Hawaiian shirt night.
Well, it happens in bars up and down Redondo, Manhattan, all those places that you and I don't go to anymore. But we decided we should bring it more right up to the people, and it started, 3-4 years ago here, and every other racetrack sends us tickets to give to them, so hey, what the heck. And you know that Wednesday night is hump night. It's a party from here on out, so wear your Hawaiian shirt. Are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt at home right now?
Well, we hope they are, Bruce, but hey, great talking with you, and it's always a party, whether we got Hawaiian shirts on or not with you.
Wait a minute now, Donnie. When was your first motorsports event?
God, it goes way back. I mean, I was a crew member for McEwen in 1969.
The Mongoose, that's when he used to sneak into Irwindale with like 40 people in the trailer. I remember that stuff.
No, in the trunk. And Mel Reck was the track manager. But you know what? That's where I started my love affair with speedway racing. I'm a big fan, and it's a pleasure that you're out here still announcing this.
Thank you, sir. And I'm glad that people like you are still creating an addition to audiences all over the United States.
All right. Hey, I'm Donnie Couch. He's Bruce Flanders, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Now we're going drinking.
No, we've been drinking.
We've been drinking.
Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or dragster down the quarter mile, or cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or just cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has all the supercharger and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. Good Vibrations is your injection connection, the largest dealer in the world for Enderle fuel injection, and now a stocking distributor for Aeromotive fuel systems with a warehouse full of go-fast race parts, an easy-to-navigate online catalog, and they ship worldwide daily. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready at goodvibesracing.com.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefote.com.
Wow, what a great show so far. We've had some great guests. But coming up now, a good friend of mine, Cowboy Bob. You folks out there in TV land know him from Coletta Motorsports, down on the starting line, owns Technicoat, big supporter of drag racing, sponsors the Coletta Dragsters, the Funny Cars, and now a new sponsor of Eddie Knox's Top Fuel Hydro, the problem child. Well, he's got a new endeavor with his buddy. And it's Phoenix Fuel Converter. I'm not even going to try to explain it. A little complicated for me, but they put one on my truck at Chip Foos' shop this weekend and went on really simple. And I've already noticed performance advantage, and I'm waiting to track my mileage. So, Bruce, if you can go to that video.
Live this week, we're at Chip Foos' shop. I'm with Cowboy Bob, Scott Tauser. I got my Phoenix fuel converter finally. We're going to install this baby on my truck, and got 100,000 miles on it right now, and I'm getting 13.2 miles a gallon. So, Scott, first of all, you invented this baby. What can we expect?
I think you'll get closer to 17, 18 when I'm done with it.
Well, that sounds like a bargain. I have some extra beer money or something, not staying so much at the gas station.
As long as you call me with the beer money, we're good.
Now, Scott, you were teaching class and kind of came up with this idea, and it was an experiment in your garage or something to teach your students, and this is how it all started?
Yeah, I was actually trying to disprove another theory about just heating fuel, getting fuel economy, making it more fuel efficient, which doesn't normally work. It doesn't work. And I actually used the wrong metals to make it, and then had to figure out what I did wrong to disprove their theory. So, and then figured out what I did and came up with the right stuff.
Now, I'm a hot rodder and race cars all my life. We want to get the fuel cool in there. You're actually warming it up, so you got me all lost. So, but you're going to prove me wrong, I know.
Well, you only cool the fuel so you can get more fuel in the cylinder. You got to get more fuel in the cylinder so you have more that can vaporize. If we vaporize more of the fuel you're already putting in, you don't have to put in any extra. So we don't need cool fuel.
I don't know, folks. Sounds good to me. But, Bob, your involvement here, you challenged me to put one on my truck. I had you and Chip on the show, and, we discussed putting this on, and you guys made it happen within a couple days.
Well, we've been good friends. We don't let too much grass grow on our feet. So we wanted to keep our promise. Scott and I were here in California on taking care of some other Phoenix fuel converter business, and you were available, thank God, and we're going to make a believer out of you. And I really appreciate you doing this. Friendship aside, thank you.
Well, I'm a believer in it because you guys, Scott and you, are so dedicated to this thing and making it work. And, of course, you bring Chip Foos in to help you promote the thing, and he's got his line, Phoenix Fuel Converter, which is the...
It's a Foos fuel converter. It's a high-performance Foos fuel converter.
And I know that he can't be bought, so he must really believe in this, too, as we talked the other night. So I'm excited to get this thing on my truck. And, Scott, how long is this going to take?
Depends on if I trip over you too much, but normally about 20 minutes on the GMs.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool, folks, to put it on. And you got the whole kit, comes with all the clamps and easy-to-use instructions. But, I'm holding a microphone today, so I'm going to let Scott put it on so it goes on right. And I have no leaks. So we'll get started now, and we'll go right through the steps for you on Speed Scene Live.
We're going to use the inlet hose, the hose that actually is pushing the water. If you look right down here, you'll see off the water pump. One hose runs to the tank here, the other hose runs independently. So we want the independent hose.
Okay, so I couldn't believe how easy this went in. He clamped the radiator hose to the heater hoses and cut it. And they put the fuel converter in right there. The kit comes with all the clamps, even comes with some of the tools. And so Scott puts that baby in there. You can see him. That Phoenix fuel converter's in his hand right there. So there's an inlet and an outlet for the water, and Same thing for the fuel lines.
Well, I was interested that this is 50 state legal. And,
yeah, they're working on California, but we all know how AQMD is here in California.
So, okay, it's 49 state legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're real
California
close.
California is so tough.
Yeah. You wonder why companies are moving out of California.
You mean like Kevin?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Stith.
Yeah.
We're losing our shirt sponsor. No, we're still going to have them.
We still got UPS.
But, Cowboy Bob and Chip and the gang there at Phoenix Fuel Converters, they're dedicated to getting this thing work. They've been testing it with all the organizations and SEMA and all that. So the last battle is AQMD, and they're never in a hurry to do anything. So once he installs this, and he puts a ground wire to it, so you've got basically the two connections there inside the heater hose. You put a ground wire.
It's heated by the water from your truck.
Right. And then now they just do an intake and outlet for the fuel, and it comes with all the factory clamps and the factory hose. And like I said, the kit comes, with everything. Right away, hey, I've seen these fuel mileage things come and go. Remember last deal was a fuel pill we put in and this and that.
I've tried some of those weird magnet ones too. You clamp some device around the fuel line, and it atomizes the fuel before it gets the carburetor.
Yeah.
Hey, well, come on, you guys remember back when you used to put a roll of toilet paper in your oil filter?
Oh, I thought that was from when you were stuck in the middle of Bakersfield and you had to pull over.
No, I was feeling okay that day.
No, but, they got Chip Foos behind this deal, and Chip can't be bought. He put one on his truck and immediately turned the mileage around there. I haven't tracked my mileage yet, but I do notice a performance advantage. My truck has 100,000 miles on it. I've never even changed the spark plugs or anything in it, and it doesn't have that sag in it no more. So I'm looking for the fuel mileage. I'm going to put a full tank in it, and we'll be heading to Bakersfield. So that'll be the true test, going over the Grapevine. And, on a full tank of gas it takes to get over there. By the way, Dar, I'm going to need some money for gas to go to Bakersfield. I'm a little light.
It's probably not as big a thing on an injected car, certainly. But, on a hot day in an older car with a device like this, I wonder how it affects, hopefully to the positive, hot starting, where you have, you're just barely on the verge of vapor lock or something like that. Kind of sounds like this thing.
This guy is the genius that made this one. And
all right, we're at Chip Foos' shop,
go.
And we've installed the Phoenix fuel converter in my crew cab. Chip, it went in pretty easily.
It's not a difficult piece to put on, and when you got a guy like Scott here putting it in, it's no time at all.
Well, you think the inventor's going to install it right, but I was impressed. The kit came with all the right clamps and fuel lines and even the tools to do it. So he said 20 minutes, and that's about what it was.
This is the tool that did it right here.
Yeah, he is our tool, right?
That was good. You got to get one of these, and you can do about anything.
Thanks, Chip. I appreciate that.
Well, we'll have to get one. I'll be looking on Craigslist for that. But now, hey, we talked earlier at the Winter Nationals. You had one on your truck. You noticed the performance gain plus the mileage.
Exactly. The mileage is amazing. My truck, I calculated before we put it on, I was getting 8.3 miles per gallon, and it went to 11.8.
Well, that's a big savings. We could buy more Corona with that, right? With that savings. But
I can get a lot further on the same amount of dollar.
Hey, Cowboy Bob, you surround yourself with good people here, and I know this guy can't be bought, and he's got his name on it, so I know it's a good product. Now, we've installed it in my truck today at Chip's shop, and I've driven around the block and noticed an immediate performance change. It's a crew cab Chevy, 100,000 miles on it, and I'm going to keep track of what we're doing. We're going to do an update later, but I do carry a toy hauler over the Grapevine to, the Hot Rod Reunion. That'll be the big test there, but we appreciate you installing it on our car.
Well, listen, it's our pleasure. Chip, thank you for giving the facility to us to do this, and have Donnie here. And we're putting in on this vehicle here. It's my daughter's car. Scott is installing a 200 series on this car, and I'm excited to see what my daughter has to say about the drivability of this.
Well, I'm more impressed that we're at Chip's shop and he wasn't even here for the first hour or two. And I can't tell you all the things that we took, all the collectibles. Hope they don't inventory that stuff. But Chip, again, thank you for the use of your shop. Thank you for backing the product. And we're really excited to see the difference.
It's my pleasure. Great to see you. Always a pleasure to see you, Bob. And Scott, you've got work to do.
Wait, you didn't say it was always a pleasure to see Scott.
Oh, he already knows.
Oh, okay.
Well, Scott, it normally means work's involved. So.
All right. Hey, I'm Donnie Couch. You're watching Speed Scene Live.
Well, that looks like a pretty cool product, Donnie. It's
well, to show up at Chip Foos' shop on a Saturday and take control of his shop. He helped any tool we needed. Refreshments, Coronas. Just saying. Chip's just a laid-back, kick-back guy and kind of a quiet, shy guy. But man, he has a body of work that he's done designing cars and the awards and the show overhaul, and he's on. So for him to get behind this product and put it on his daily driver truck, it's a Roush Ford truck with a supercharger on it, so that's why it gets such terrible mileage. And that came around, and we talked at Pomona about it. And so they're getting ready to kick this thing off big time. It works on locomotives and cars and diesel trucks, and they've been doing their homework and getting this everything worked out of the whole program.
Well, and now over the next couple of months, and the shows that Donnie and I do here on Speed Scene Live, we'll do some reports on how it's going, how it tows. If there's any, let's see if it does that kind of mileage. It's interesting that people are still working on a product that hopefully will give us a little bit better mileage because gasoline is so damn expensive.
Yeah, it is. Well, like I said, it's not just the mileage, just the performance. Plus, it lowers your carbon footprint. You don't have the pollution coming out.
You don't have Al Gore knocking on your door.
Yeah, well, not yet. Maybe Hillary. I don't know.
We were talking over the weekend about how long is it going to be before they outlaw windows down on the highway because it's less efficient for your car. So are they going to start stopping us for dumb things like that? But I don't know. They could.
They will in California.
Yeah, they will.
Again, that's why one of the reasons Kevin's moving. We wanted to talk, too, about the upcoming at Bakersfield Saturday Night Nitro, and this one coming up is going to be like a triple header, quadruple header, I guess, with the Heritage Series Nostalgia Fall Championships, and it starts on September 5th to the 7th. 4 big races in 3 great days, and on Saturday night you will see Saturday Night Nitro. And I was talking with Blake Bowser before we went on the air tonight, and he said that he's expecting at least 20 funny cars. So with the top fuelers and nitro bikes and
fuel
altereds, we might have 30. Who knows? We'll have over probably 24 nitro cars. So it'll be a great opportunity to grab your family. And then the big deal is 4 p.m. Saturday. They open the gates to $25 a carload. You can load as many people in your car or truck. They can be standing in your pickup truck bed. It's a great deal to be able to deal with this kind of promotion that for Saturday Night Nitro. And the really cool thing has been seeing all the dads and moms that are bringing kids from the neighborhood, and they're experiencing drag racing and nitro for the first time, like a lot of us did real early on in our drag racing lives. So it's a really cool thing. The Nostalgia Fall Championships will be part of the Heritage Series Finals. West Coast Outlaw Pro Mods will be there, and if you have not seen those guys run, they are absolutely worth it. And then there's also, this is a fun Ford weekend, which will have an incredible amount of Mustangs, Fords, and Bruce maybe will get out of the valley and head on up over the hill to go see some of his brethren. It might happen. And then Saturday Night Nitro on Saturday night.
Ain't gonna happen with Bruce. He never leaves the studio.
Oh God,
he's the hardest working man in show business.
Oh, that's what this is show business.
Exactly.
You call it.
Last time we had Saturday Night Nitro, stands were full. That $25 carload price, it packed the place.
Well, this is also going to decide the winner of the Boise Bakersfield Blitz, which is 2 races at Boise at Firebird Raceway and the 2 Saturday Night Nitro events at Auto Club Famoso Raceway. And right now, Dan Horan, Robert Overholser, Roger Garten, and Richard Townsend all are within 2 points of each other to win the championship.
Wow. Ooh, man.
So
Hey, Dar,
whoever qualifies better, whoever qualifies number one, is going to walk away with a whole bunch of stuff that's led by a drum of nitro oil from Prolong Racing Oil.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good stuff there. There's all kinds of things that are there to benefit the racer, from restrapping your supercharger to a Replay XD camera from Bankshift. So there's a ton of stuff, and we're really proud to be part of the Boise Bakersfield Blitz, and it's a cool deal that benefits the racer. Anyway, Saturday night, September 6th, the 5th to the 7th for the Nostalgia Fall Championship.
Hey, Dar, I know this Bakersfield Boise Blitz, it's kind of your baby, and you helped put all this together, so hats off to you for all your hard effort. I know Blake Bowser always says that to you, but I want the people out there to know how hard you work. And I can remember back in the day where some of these funny car guys wouldn't even talk to us. And now look at them, Dar.
Won't, but that's all right.
Yeah. Hey, now look at them. Huh?
Hey, look at if you haven't seen Nostalgia Funny Cars, if you haven't seen Nostalgia Front Motor Top Fuel, this is a good chance to go see it. It'll be a great weekend. The nitro cars will be testing on Friday afternoon. They'll be testing all day Saturday. And if I know a lot of the guys out there who run nitro cars, whether it's Top Fuel or Funny Car, that they're going to need to test for the upcoming California Hot Rod Reunion. So there's a lot to see, and it's a great family atmosphere. And I swear I will have 2 boxes of Jegs hats to give to all the kids. Sorry, moms and dads, you can't have it.
Oh.
And unless every kid gets a hat first.
Wow.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
I don't know. There was a lot of kids there last time. It was really fun.
I ran out. Ran out of hats.
Hey, well, Dar, getting towards the top of the show, man. We've had a great show, and I just want to give a shout out to my Technicoat boys over there, Cowboy Bob and Chip Foose. And I didn't fail to mention, you can go to on the internet, fuelconverter.com, and check out all that and some good technology. And of course, we got our sponsor, Good Vibrations. You got their new catalog. You can get them at dragparts.com. Great supporter of the show. Of course, Aeromotive Fuel Pumps, which Good Vibrations is a distributor for. So support those who support the show. And
hey, one of the things just give me a second about Good Vibrations is that they're good friends of ours, but my son and I are putting a Hilborn mechanical fuel injection on our Model A.
Ooh,
and
good
they
for you.
have spent so much time helping us work out the bugs in this thing. And we're just about ready to fire it maybe this weekend. And the knowledge base that's down there from guys who have been running and are selling parts for nitro and alcohol and gasoline injected configurations. It's amazing, how much those guys know. So give them a call. Good Vibrations. Order a catalog. Great place to go. Good people.
Yeah.
Donnie, we're done.
Yeah, we're almost done. We got to thank our new cameraman, David. He's doing a great job. And get well, Ken Hathcock, our old camera guy. And he's living down in Huntington Beach with his son now. We wish him well with his health.
Indeed. Hey, it's time for the encore presentation of tonight's show. Just so you know, we're getting a couple of reports. People on desktop computers might be having an issue with the stream. You mobile viewers are having it just fine. Everything's working. So right after this show completes, we'll do a little start-stop on the stream. So in case you see an interruption right before the encore show, that's what's happening. So we'll see if we can kick this baby into high gear. As if it wasn't already. Good to see you again, Dar.
Good to see you, Bruce. Thanks a lot for your help.
And likewise, Donnie Couch.
Hey, good seeing everybody.
All right, here we go. It's time for the encore presentation of tonight's show. We'll be back 1 week from right now, right here at Speed Scene Live. And tonight's show was a presentation of the West Coast Funny Car Factory 2014, all rights reserved.
TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.